Okay, so welcome everybody. My name is Philip and I'm a teacher of English. And I'm going to talk to you about the programs that we have here in our university, programs that deal with foreign languages. It's not only English that I'm going to be talking about, but mainly English because I teach English and French here. So, as you already may know, English and foreign languages in general are very popular nowadays. And if we talk about your knowledge of English, it's basically one of the most basic skills. It's one of the main skills that everybody should have nowadays. So, if we talk about foreign languages, of course there are foreign languages that are more or less popular, but English is definitely one of your basic skills nowadays. Many people already stopped thinking about English as a foreign language, and basically it's one of your skills. Just like, for example, being able to use the computer or drive the car or anything like that. So, if you know one language, that's great, and this language is usually one of the European languages, be it English, French, German, or some other languages, for example Spanish. All of these languages are taught here at our university. But if you know two languages, that's already some competitive advantage for you. That will help you during your employment, and in general will be quite a good help for you. So, the question, why should you learn English? Or, once again, any other foreign language? If we talk about English in particular, there are of course different reasons. Some of them are more practical, such as, for example, saving some money by avoiding the middleman. You know, middlemen are almost everywhere, and those people are actually people who know English better than you do. So they manage to establish contacts with people, for example with suppliers, or sometimes with those who provide different services. Just a simple story from my own experience. When I was in Portugal, there was a guided tour for people, and it was a guided bus tour, basically, and we had a guided tour in Russian and a guided tour in other languages. So the guided tour in Russian was about €80, and of course this is quite expensive, just because there are not enough people who speak Russian. At the same time, we had also an English guided tour, and this tour just cost €20, and also there was quite a big bus, very comfortable, just because there are more people who speak English. So this way you can just save money. And also, if we talk about popularity of English, you should know that English is the original language of more than 80% of all web documents. I'm talking about the internet, about the World Wide Web. So many things that there are in English exist only in English, and some things that are even translated are sometimes translated poorly, and it may be a translation from English. So knowing English, of course, broadens your horizons and lets you achieve different practical and theoretical aims. So there are different programs here at our university. One of them is an interpreter. So basically we prepare people as interpreters in the sphere of professional communication. And this is a very massive program. We can start from year one, from the very beginning, from the elementary level or even the level of beginner. And this program usually lasts for 4 years, but depending on your level you can start and just come to us to the 3rd year of studies or the 4th year of studies, depending on your language skill. So, when people finish this program, when they graduate from our university, they are ready to be translators or interpreters. They are ready to be people who can really communicate using English and also translate from Russian into English, from English into Russian, and so on. We also have a program which is more focused, and this program is of business English. So it prepares professionals in many different spheres, because you understand that nowadays almost any kind of job is somehow connected with business, even those people who work in some theoretical fields, such as, for example, science, they still have to do with business. So we prepare people for that, We give them the vocabulary, we give them practical skills, skills of making presentations, skills of, for example, passing the job interview and getting a job in an international company. It may also be, for example, writing a CV, preparing a CV in English. That's what we do during this course. There's another course which is called Academic English. It is mainly for those who would like to study in a foreign country, in an English-speaking country. And this course is led by our professor, whose name is Anna, and if you meet her, you will definitely like her course because it's a very, academic, purely science-centered course, but a very practical one at the same time. And finally, we've got IELTS. Of course, we are familiar with IELTS. It's an international examination, mainly for people who, again, would like to go abroad, maybe to study, maybe to get a job there. And IELTS is becoming more and more popular. Of course, there are other different international exams, such as TOEFL, as you know, which is mainly our American exam for people who would like to live there and again, work or study. And there are also other exams, such as different Cambridge exams, included BEC, BAC, as you know, it's Business English Certificate, and also such exams as FCE, CAE, and Proficiency. We prepare people for all these kinds of exams. So, why our language courses are different from the others? First of all, there is a great diversity of activity. Because we discuss, we translate many different materials. You can see the list here. But what I would like to say to you is that our studies are definitely practice-oriented. They are very, very practical. I mean that we have a very, very small number of things that cannot help you in real life. So our course was built around what you may use in your real life. And students are always grateful for that. Also, we have a mix of home studying and studying during the courses, studying in class, which is a very good way of combining your time, of managing your time, I can say. So, if you don't have enough time to study in class, then you can catch up at home, or it's the other way around. Sometimes we do more in class than we do at home, and so on and so forth. But basically, I have to say that in order to practice your English, or in order to practice another foreign language, you normally need quite a lot of practice per week. So we combine your practice at home and your practice in class. And also there is some individual control. There is a program which includes checking the quality of your work. So by that I mean that there is some constant control over what people do. Because of course people are different. Let's just think about what we can do with the language. The basic activities that can be done with the language is reading, of course. What else? Speaking, also listening and writing. So if you think of that, very often people have some disbalance, For example, some people are very good at reading, they understand things very well, but they cannot express their ideas. And as a result, they have a low level of writing or speaking. So we manage that and we help people to improve their particular weaknesses. As I have already mentioned, you will reach some kind of freedom and you will actually stop being afraid to speak English. This is one of the problems that people have, especially if they have dealt previously with the Russian system of education, whereas we have a very high level of perfectionism. So, for example, you might remember your school days, and when you were at school, I'm almost sure that you were afraid to make a mistake, just because you will get a low mark, just because the teacher maybe will shout at you, or something bad will happen. And as a result, sometimes people become reserved. They start thinking about every word that there is, and of course, this usually prevents them from speaking English or any other foreign language with some kind of freedom. And also we use the most up-to-date materials. Of course, you understand that languages are changing. And English is the language which is changing exceptionally quickly. So as a result, our materials, our books and our presentations and many other multimedia, for example, materials that we use, have to be updated on a yearly basis. And this is what we do here. About our teachers usually have quite a lot of experience, and they have international certificates. For example, I personally have Cambridge International Certificate of C2, which is the highest level of proficiency in English. And many of them, I would say even most of them, have got a PhD, which also means that not only do they possess a higher knowledge of English, but also they have some practical skills, so it's a good combination of theory and practice. At the same time, here at our university we do something which you rarely can find somewhere else. We teach people to translate from English into Russian, from Russian into English, and we make professionals out of them. Personally, I've had a lot of students who became either interpreters of different negotiations, for example, or just translators of books from English into Russian, for instance. And these people became interpreters and translators just thanks to our courses, because finding good courses of translation is not so easy, I should tell you. I've already mentioned these exams, IELTS and BEC, which is Business English Certificate, so I will not repeat that again. And once again, you can read different testimonies, you can read different reviews of our courses on the internet. You will see that people are all satisfied with our courses. They like that there is some, contact between the teacher and the students. We are basically equal, as long as the students follow the rules, of course. Even sometimes we teach teachers who already have a quite level of English. So this is why I can say that our students are usually satisfied with the results. And it helps them, it opens different opportunities for them in their career, in their professional career, in their studies, and so on and so forth. So I actually expect you to be interested in our program. I hope you are going to find out more about it. So please visit our website and welcome. Thank you.